Our first code orange is literally right around the corner, so I thought I would put together a list of Halloween hunting essentials for you ghouls to basically start prepping for Halloween hunting season today. Be sure to stick around till the end because I'm also going to be spilling the tea on all of my money saving tips during Halloween hunting season at the very end.
Monsters do have their place in your nightmares, in the deep, in your favorite horror movies.
Hello, my spookies. That's right, Halloween hunting is so close. I have heard rumors that this is going to be the earliest we have ever gotten a code orange at multiple stores. Specifically, At Home Stores is saying that they're going to have their stuff sooner than ever. We are anticipating about 2 to 3 weeks from now, actually, at this point. And we have also seen that TJ Maxx has started to release things a little bit early in the season as well. So I anticipate that we are going to have a very early hunting season starting very early June, if not late May. And I am personally healing my relationship with Halloween hunting. I have been very vocal in the past about my love-hate relationship with it, and I am determined to make this year the year that I fall back in love with Halloween hunting for several reasons that I'll get into later. You don't need to know about it right now. But I thought that it would be really fun to get in the Halloween hunting spirit and talk about the essentials that I consider the number one things I need in order to make Halloween hunting a therapeutic experience for myself. You know, for me, Halloween hunting needs to become a form of self-scare this year. And I've learned a lot over the years. I've been through the ups and downs of Halloween hunting, and anyone who tells you that it's easy or that it's for the faint of heart is a complete liar. I'm calling you out because it's not easy. It is about grit and determination and suffering through the summer. That's the unglamorous side of Halloween hunting we don't talk about on social media, but I'm here to tell you that it's real, it's a struggle, but there are ways to get through it and there are ways to make it a very pleasant experience. So that's what I wanted to fangirl over with you ghouls today. Before we get started, I wanted to say hello and welcome. My name is Mandy Spooks, and this is our spooky oasis where we celebrate the magic of Halloween and spooky pop culture. And obviously we're honest about the not so glamorous side of celebrating Halloween year round and how to get through it. Before we jump into my very practical spooky essentials list, I could not continue without giving a major shout out to Eyewear for sponsoring this video, which you guys are going to hear more about in a few minutes. Okay, so here is the reality of Halloween hunting. Unfortunately, in a perfect world, it would take place during the peak of autumn with fall colors and a crisp breeze in the air. However, that is not our reality because most of us all hunt through the misery of summer. Even I, who live in Colorado, which is one of the most beautiful summers in America, I might say, just saying, I have gotten through some of the hottest, most dehydrating days. So on that note, number one on my list is a very cute and spooky drinkware option that you will need to have water with you at all times. So I want to give a shout out to Sister Spooks for getting me this for Spookmas. This is one of my favorite gifts, most handy practical things. It is a Stanley dupe, but it's personalized, it's purple, it's spooky with bats, and it says my name on it. I do want to give you guys like some advice on these. I will never tell you to buy name brand because that's just not what we do around here. But be careful when you're buying these. If you're buying a dupe, I had purchased one that was like this, but the lid pulls off and on, so it doesn't actually like secure on like these do. And I'm very disappointed to share that it broke on me. It lasted maybe like 6 to 8 months, and it had this like elastic here that just like doesn't want to stay in place anymore. I don't feel like I've put this cup through the ringer enough yet to know if it's a common problem with all of them, but just be careful when you're getting your dupes to make sure you get the kind that actually screws on like the Stanley does. So yeah, that's number one on my list. I will also say that having an actual coffee tumbler is very important. That is actually something on my list for this year because I'm not about the raid done madness that happened 2 to 3 years ago. It was absolutely insane. But I found, because of the trend, that I really, really love the raid done cold, like actual coffee tumblers. I had a Hocus Pocus purple one that I used so much that I now need to replace this year as well. So the 2 essentials are 1 drinkware for water that you must carry at all times, and then 1 for your cold brew or coffee runs, because sometimes you want that drink. Have any of you seen those TikToks where it's like the girls sharing like the million cups they need to take to work because there's 1 for each need? That's me in my car. So yeah, that's my number 1 tip. And then the next one is, like I said, it is very hot and sunny during these hunting routes. So number 1, this is for my younger ghouls out there who haven't learned their lesson yet, because I feel like the older ones will know. Wear sunscreen. Wear sunscreen. I cannot tell you that enough. I have always worn sunscreen since I was a very young girl, thanks to my mom, for Mama Spooks, for always telling me to wear mine. But even then, there were days here and there where I would not wear sunscreen, and I am 99% sure that I developed melasma. You can see this spot here. I have one on my forehead as well that is always like super obvious if I'm not wearing makeup in a video or not enough coverage in a video. So please wear your sunscreen. It is essential, even if you think you're just going out for 5 minutes, like it makes a difference. Even if it's not a sunny day, wear your sunscreen. I cannot tell you enough how spooky it is to not wear sunscreen for your skin. Skincare matters. Self-care. Take care of yourselves. And I think this might be the last summer item on my essentials list, but of course we have to talk about protecting our eyes because they are very important. I had no idea how blinding the sun could possibly be until I moved to Colorado. You guys might think like being in Arizona I had that problem, but when I moved here it was a whole other ball game. So now I have literally sunglasses in every bag, probably because I always need them when I least expect to. So that brings me into today's sponsor, which is Pair Eyewear. They now have these really cool purple scale sun top frames that I had to get to add into my rotation, especially because I've been wearing my glasses so much more now. I've been having recent problems with my contacts that they're like drying out. I spend too much time on the computer. So I've had to transition into wearing glasses more often, and I really wanted to make sure I would have a pair of sunnies to top off on my Halloween hunting days. I love Pair so much that this is the second frame that I am now building a collection for. I had the, what is it called? Ella top frame before that I have tons of top frames for. It's prescribed, but I decided to get the Wanda ones prescribed as well now, just because, like I said, I've been wearing my glasses so much. So they're a very affordable option for those of you who have high prescriptions. They do have high index prescriptions available, and it's a great way to save some money and change up your look on a whim. Like I said, I used to spend $300 to $400 per pair of glasses that didn't have the option to just switch up a look, you know, very easily. So that's been my favorite thing about Pair. And of course, how could you not want these orange top frames for your Code Orange alerts, you know? So if you're interested in rocking Halloween hunting season in style like me, check out the link in the description below or use code MandySpooks15 to save 15% off your first order. All right, and then next on my essentials list is having a comfy spooky bag. I'm just a comfort ghoul. You guys are going to learn this through and through. The more and more I start to feel comfortable sharing my very own personal journey and not playing into like what trends and does well. But the beautiful spooky bags that we yearn for are not always the most practical or fun, honestly. I find them to be very like big and stiff sometimes, and it's hard to like easily like navigate through them, pull your phone out, your wallet, your camera if you're vlogging or doing anything as a content creator. So I have found that the Sprout crossbody bags are my go-to for like comfort everyday use, especially for hunting and just packing a ton of things in there. I also did recently get the fanny pack. It's not as big, but it's definitely still very practical and ideal. So I feel like that's probably going to become my number one favorite bag as we get more into the hunting season, because I really love how easy it is to just like open here, grab what I need. It's just amazing, honestly. I love it. So yeah, a comfy bag is on the list. And then from a comfort perspective, the last thing is of course shoes. Shoes are so important. Also, another note for my young ghouls, like, take care of your feet. Don't take them for granted. Use comfortable shoes, because the more wear and tear you put on them, wearing uncomfortable aesthetic shoes, flat shoes, flip-flops, I promise you, you're gonna pay for it later. So thank me, your elder spooky ghoul here. Wear comfortable shoes. It's so important. It's fine to wear like sandals and stuff, but just make sure you're wearing some kind of support, because it does take a toll on your feet the older you get. If not now, like, you'll feel the difference. You, instead of only being able to handle going to 2 mega Halloween hunting spots, you could extend it to 4 if you just wear the right shoes. I feel so crazy, but these are things that I feel like should be obvious, but they're not. And maybe sometimes we just need someone to tell us, like, it's okay, go for the comfort, do the comfortable thing, don't do the insta thing. You know, I wish someone had told me that, honestly. Okay, and then next on the list, let's see, we're going through these very quickly. I'm very proud of myself. Okay, next on the list is prepping what you're going to listen to, because I promise you, no matter how much I tell myself every year, like, I'm not gonna end up hunting, like, on the hunt for an item. It happens every year. At least one thing becomes a coveted item that I have to drive across town for, to like 4 different locations of a store until I finally find it. And the best thing to have in that situation is Halloween motivation. So for me, it's spooky audiobooks, podcasts, even music will do the trick, but prepping that ahead of time, because I'm very much a mood person. As you all have learned, I'm a vibe, I'm a theme kind of ghoul. So for me, it takes a very long time to figure out like what book I want to listen to in a moment. So I basically just have a list of like different things I want to tackle. So like I'll have 4 different audiobooks that I really want to listen to, a few different podcasts, a few different mood albums that I love to listen to during Halloween or autumn season. And at least that way it narrows it down to like what I want to put in a jam when I'm like, oh no, I have to drive 45 minutes across town to this other at-home location. I have something easily to access and pick one thing from, versus starting from scratch and being like, what do I feel like listening to right now? It sounds crazy, but these are the things that happen to me when I'm on the go. And then this is more so for my content creating ghoulies. I recommend getting a selfie tripod. Mine, I should have brought mine with me to show you guys. Mine is purple, of course, and it's just this like longer looking tripod that's like maybe this big. I don't know. It looks like it's bigger than average for like selfie sticks and stuff, but what it does is it pops open into an actual tripod, but it's very light. It's very easy to throw up and down. The downside to that, of course, is it's not very safe, but it's very good to use on a whim if you just want to like go hunting by yourself, and if you're brave enough to just like pop it up and take pictures while you're at the store. And of course, the other pro tip I have is just like, if you really want pictures, like try to find someone to go with you, even if it's just for like my one hunting photo session. Take your ghoul mate, take your husband, your best friend, your boyfriend, your partner, whatever, so that you can get those pictures you really want, because there's nothing worse than like going and wishing you had been prepared to take the picture you want, or even going home and being like, I should have just done it. I should have not been embarrassed and taken the picture that I really wanted, because that's half the fun of Halloween hunting, honestly. So before I move on to my money saving tips, I did want to ask if there are any Halloween hunting essentials you all have that I missed in the video, because again, I'm a very practical comfort ghoul, so I would love to hear any other items that you guys are sure to pack. Maybe some snacks. I think snacks should definitely be added to my list, honestly. But yeah, drop them in the comments down below, because I want everyone to have the most magical Halloween hunting season, stress-free, all about the vibes, spooky, positive vibes only. All right, so on to my money saving tips, because this is the hardest. I've always talked about this, but for me, number 1 is having a list, and that list should also be part of your essentials list that you always carry with you. So this list is a list of things that I actually need this Halloween season, because for so long I would fall into the trap of buying with my eyes, honestly. Like, I'd see something and I'd think, who do I think I am? Ariana Grande? I'd be like, I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it. And not all of us have an Ariana Grande budget, unfortunately. So that got the best of me, and I learned that having a list is very, very important for me. And there are a few questions that I always have to ask myself before purchasing something now on the whim. First is it on my list? It should be if I'm considering getting it, honestly. And then next is, can I afford it right now comfortably without having to adjust any of my budget? And the last question is, no, there's two more questions. The other one is, do I have somewhere or something in mind for it? Like, do I already know where I'm going to place this piece of decoration? What am I going to use it for? And then the last one is, do I have somewhere to store it? And those are the 4 guiding questions I use, because so often I'll realize like, oh yeah, I won't know where to store it, so I shouldn't get it. Or I'll realize like, oh, I can get it, but then I'll have less money for my groceries, or I'll have to pull out of my savings. And like, those are not good reasons to get something, you know? So those are kind of like my 4 rules of Halloween hunting. And then the next tip I have is, of course, to not fall into the insta trap of like feeling like you have to have the latest trending drink online or anything. Like, it is perfectly fine to make your cold brew at home. In fact, there is a very cool cold brew pitcher that I recently purchased on Amazon that really saved my life and made me realize like, wow, I don't need to buy coffee at Starbucks or Dutch Bros, because I really love the one I've been making at home. So maybe I'll make a video on that soon. But yeah, don't be embarrassed to make your own coffee at home or whatever you desire. Iced tea is a total vibe too. I think my summer is actually going to be a summer of limeades, honestly. So the other way that I combat overspending is purchasing gift cards ahead of time. So I know that this summer I'm going to be obsessed with Sonic. Not even going to lie to you guys, not going to sugarcoat it. So what I'm going to do is buy like a $50 Sonic gift card ahead of time and tell myself like, I cannot spend more than $50 from literally like the first Halloween hunting round until the end of spooky season. And that sounds insane. Like, $50 sounds like a lot if I were to tell you like, oh, that's how much I'm spending monthly. But no, $50 for an entire season of hunting, it's going to be challenging for me, not going to lie, but it helps me be more particular and picky about the times that I want to indulge, you know, and I have found that to be so helpful for me. I have a Starbucks gift card that's preloaded, and so many times I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get a Starbucks, and then I'm like, oh, I only have $15 left, maybe I should save it for a more rainy day, you know. So that has helped me a lot, and I hope maybe it could help you girls as well, like setting your budget ahead of time, purchasing it. I just realized that could even be a great method for saving money with actual Halloween hunting decor. Like, I know so many of you have an actual budget set. I check if it fits my budget versus having an actual budget for Halloween hunting, but I feel like that could be really helpful too, is like preloading. Like, if you know there are very specific stores you always buy a lot from, maybe setting like $50 for at home and buying an at home gift card and only allowing yourself that much, or even getting like, just having a little like savings account or keeping track of how much you're allowing yourself to spend on hunting, I feel would be really helpful. And then of course another tip is coupons. Do not be afraid to look for coupons. Always ask. Like, if you can't find one, it never hurts to just ask at the register, like, hey, do you happen to know if there's any coupons or specials I could take advantage of today? They won't always be nice, but one day you might get lucky and get someone who offers a discount code to you or a coupon. I remember one time at Spirit, we were buying a ton of stuff, and the girl was nice enough to say like, oh, I'll separate your purchases for you so you could use the coupon multiple times. So don't be afraid to ask, honestly. In the past, I have advised also to like always return impulse purchases. Unfortunately, I feel like a lot of stores are cracking down on returns and being more strict about them. So if you do tend to impulse buy a lot, be sure to check the store's return policies before you do it, because I'd hate for you guys to be in a situation where you're stuck with an item you don't really want or need after all. I think those are everything that come to mind so far, but I'm sure I'm missing a few. Of course, another thing is to not be afraid of thrifting if you have the time, if you enjoy it, like lean into arts and crafts as well. Like, you do not have to give in to the consumerism of Halloween hunting. For me, it genuinely has become something that I want to do for fun, for spooky serotonin, and to get out of the house. You know, I work from home, and I found that I really need to get out of the house a little bit more. So for me, this is going to become a way for me to get out of the house, get a little bit more steps in for the day, enjoy myself, and kind of just like have fun, you know, have fun and lean into the fun part of hunting versus focusing so much on the like, oh my god, I need to find this item everyone's talking about, or oh my god, I have to have the biggest hauls. Like, no, I just want to enjoy the actual experience and not be on the hunt for anything. And I also have a few things that I actually like genuinely need, but I want to take my time like looking for the things that I really need, the right kind, and not just like settling, like if I have kitchen or dinner plates on my list, just getting the first ones I find, like actually like enjoying the process, you know? So yeah, if you guys have any other Halloween hunting money saving tips, please leave them in the comments down below, and let me know what store you're most excited to hunt at. I have a little secret. My favorite store is actually like one that never gets a lot of love. My favorite hunting grounds is Big Lots, honestly. I love Big Lots. I always feel like they have the most like nostalgic, true Halloween vibes from most of the stores. So that's always what I'm really excited to check out every year. So let me know what your favorite hunting grounds are as well. And yeah, who is excited for Code Orange? I know I am. This is gonna be like my year of falling in love with hunting again, and I'm super excited about it. And yeah, I can't wait to fangirl with you guys. Until next time, sending you goals and kisses. Bye.